Hi, this is Lynn, also known as Toll Baby from on Ravelry. I'm the hand from Two Tangled Skeins. If you watch the episodes, you'll often see a hand come in from stage left. That would be me. So this is a short podcast to sort of bridge the gap during the hiatus in recording that Two Tangled Skeins is experiencing. It's temporary, and hopefully Sue and Carrie will be getting back to work soon. So we all have that to look forward to. I know we're all going to, I'm pretty sure we're all going. But anyway, we're supposed to be going to the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival the weekend of May 3rd and 4th. So we're very much looking forward to that. 2 weeks. Yay. So right now I am knitting on this Rob's sock. Yay. As those of you, I lost my fifth needle. I was recording, I was knitting, and I had to put down my knitting to answer the phone, and I don't know what I did with the fifth needle. So I guess I won't be knitting right now. I'm sitting at my desk at work, so I'm just about to leave for the weekend, the long weekend. And I didn't misplace it. It's in my knitting. It's been one of those days. So now you all get to laugh at my kind of, I won't say stupidity, but that was definitely one of my moments. So yes, I've lost the fifth needle in my knitting. So anyway, as any of you who have watched Two Tangled Skeins in the past know, I cast on a sock for my boyfriend Rob 14 times. And that sock was cursed. So it's not in the trash yet because I want to show photographic evidence of this cursed sock. What finally happened to the sock, how it finally met its demise, is that I had brought it to my mother's house and I was knitting along and I was actually making progress. I was most of the way through the first sock, about where I am now. That's not very encouraging, is it? And I dropped my knitting bag on the way back to the car. So it snowed that night after we left and nobody saw the bag. So the next night, my parents were coming home from going to the theater. And my mom said, "What's that black thing in the snowbank?" And it was my knitting bag, which had been chewed up and spit out by the snowblower. I'm not kidding. The sock was largely intact. There were a couple of little slices through it. The ball of yarn was destroyed. The knitting bag was destroyed. And the needles, well, let's just say they didn't look like needles anymore. So that's what happened to Rob's last socks. They were black. That's never happening again. This is lovely, lovely yarn. I love it. It's so squishy. And if you get the chance to knit with this, take it. It's a little expensive as sock yarns go. Well, as plain commercial sock yarns go. But it's definitely worth it. It is warm. It is squishy. It has beautiful stitch definition. I don't know if you can see the ribs there. Because it's a 3x2 ribbed sock. And it is Cascade Heritage sock yarn. This is just a plain navy blue because Rob's not very adventurous. Unlike Sue's husband, who gets the most gorgeous socks. But that's because he'll wear them. So Rob gets plain old socks because he's boring. Hi, honey. What I do have a faux. Unfortunately, I gave it away before I got a picture. Those of you, again, who watch Two Tangled Skeins, know that I went through a blanket square kick, rather. About a year ago, I started making granny square blanket squares. Except it's not the ones with the holes all around. It's the ones that are full on the sides and just have the hole at the corner. So I made about 45 of those before I started wondering, what am I going to do with all these blanket squares? So what I did was, I was going to Rob's last weekend to prepare Passover Seder for his family because I've never done this before. Rob's mom has gotten tired of you know, all the work involved in preparing for the Seder. It is a lot of work. So I was taking over, and it was the first time we were hosting a Seder at Rob's house, and it was awesome. So, as a non sequitur, yes, big non sequitur, we were going to see a friend's daughter in a play. Our friend Steve's daughter Hannah was playing in an elementary school adaptation of 101 Dalmatians. She was awesome. But turned out that Steve's brother Mike, who he and his wife recently had a baby, were also going to be in attendance. They don't live around there, so we don't see them very often. But they were going to be in town to see the play. So I wanted to bring a little gift for the baby, because I'm all about the babies. So I decided to take 9 of these squares, it was 9 rows around. So it ended up being about roughly 9-inch square. So what I did was I crocheted one more round on each in the single color. And then I, on the back of the squares, I crocheted the outside loops together. And then crocheted a quadruple border around the whole thing. The last row being 2 double crochets in each thing, which makes it a little ruffly and cute and girly. Anyway, so I ended up finishing that on the plane. Halfway between Toronto and Chicago, I finished the blanket. And the only other project I had was the sock, and it was in my suitcase, so I didn't do any other knitting on the plane. I felt kind of like the Yarn Harlot has felt in the past when she's like, I didn't pack enough knitting. But I did pack enough knitting. I didn't do any knitting while I was there. I was too busy. I didn't have time to knit. I know, it's horrible, isn't it? So now I'm back to working on Rob's sock in the hopes that I can finish at least one of them before he comes up for Memorial Day weekend. Sorry, that's my PC, which the tablet is currently resting against. So you may hear little notification noises every now and then. So I did finish the blanket. We gave it to Mike and Chrissy for baby Lauren, and they liked it very much. So I was very happy. And it turned out much, much prettier than I thought it would. Mike is supposed to provide me with a picture at some point. So that was my faux. And I don't have it here, so I feel kind of stupid because I have nothing to show you. But it was just supposed to be a little short podcast to sort of keep up interest in the meantime until Sue and Carrie are up to recording again, which hopefully will be very soon. It's getting warmer. We actually had 20-degree weather in Ottawa last week, which was awesome. But apparently while I was in Chicago, somebody missed the memo about spring and brought winter back, and it snowed and it's cold and it sucks. So I don't know what's going on. But we're working on getting some warmer weather. I'm hoping it's going to be warmer in Maryland, but not as hot as it was last year. Because it was pretty hot in Maryland last year. Sue and I burned to a crisp. We will be packing sunscreen this year. Carrie is still going, I told you so, over the sunburn. So, you know. And our friend Elizabeth is going to be joining us. So hopefully if we can record in Maryland, there will be 4 of us. Yay! That would be awesome. Elizabeth is a lot of fun, and you guys will love her. So, on the needles, I've got the sock. I have a sweater for my son, which unfortunately is at home. I will plan this better next time, I promise. I'm knitting him the flax sweater. The flax sweater is by, give me a sec here, as I play with my computer right behind the tablet. The flax sweater is by Tin Can Knits, also known as, what's her name? Shoot, it doesn't say. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous sweater. I might try to insert a picture because I'm not going to just flip the tablet around to show you. That would be kind of silly. I have a couple of other little things on the needles. I'm doing a linen stitch scarf out of Alchemy. I think it's Transformation is the yarn. It's gorgeous yarn. The flax I'm doing out of Patton's Canadiana, which is an acrylic, but it's a fantastic acrylic to knit with. If I have to knit with acrylic, that's the one I like to knit with. So, I've got a couple of things on the needles, but I promise that the next time I do this, I will have stuff to show you. And I'll be a little bit organized, and maybe I'll even write show notes like Sue does. In the meantime, this has been a very short podcast to say hey to all our Two Tangled Skeins fans, and I'm hoping that while we're in Maryland in a couple of weeks, we will record an episode. Or at the very least, a shorty like this one. So, I don't know, Two Tangled Skeins shorts? We'll see. I'm not sure if they're going to let me use the name. So, everybody take care, keep knitting, keep crocheting, and we'll see you soon. Bye!